Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my 2019 favorites. So, in 2019, I tried a lot of makeup. My makeup collection rapidly expanded. I went from having one drawer of makeup to having like 20. So, I tried a lot of things, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about the things that I used a lot in 2019. So, they're not necessarily like my ride or die favorites at this point in time. They're just things that I really liked when I was using them. So in a couple of categories, there's multiple items just because halfway through the year, my taste changed. And I decided to try different things, and I started using that one over and over and over again. So I replaced some of the other ones. So that's why there are multiple items in a couple of the categories. So the first category that I'm going to be talking about is primer. So to start off the year, I got this Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and I was obsessed with this because of the hype. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, look how good my skin looks. Like, it looks great. I love it. And I was like, I like it. I like it. I like it. I kept telling myself in my head I liked it. And I did. And then I tried the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And I fell in love with this. I use it every day, even now. So, yeah, that's my new favorite. It covers everything. It makes everything so nice and even. If I'm using that, I know I'm going to have a good foundation day. I'm going to have a good skin day. My makeup's going to be on point all day long. I'm going to be able to wake up at 6 a.m., do my makeup, come back at midnight, it still looks good. I know my makeup's going to be good when I wear that. And then the two foundations that I enjoyed this year, I enjoyed them for two different things. So I had the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. This was the shade Sand 2. I actually got this at TJ Maxx, and I was obsessed with it. It was such a nice foundation to wear in the summer because it was pretty full coverage, but it still looked fun, and it didn't look like I had a full face of makeup on. So I could wear it to the beach. I could wear it to the dog park. I could wear it to work and it still looked good. It was just like full coverage without being cakey whatsoever. I was like, this is a ride or die right there. And then the foundation that is my like, I'm going out, my makeup's gonna last all day long, is the Born This Way foundation. I have the shade Snow. I have the shade Porcelain. I have Swan. I have this in a lot of shades because I love it. I wear it all the time. I think it's a great foundation. I think if you do want something more full coverage and you want it to last all day, I would definitely recommend this. Moving on to concealer is the concealer I talk about in almost every video, which is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is the shade Pharaoh 6. As you can see, this one's out, but I have like 10 more. That concealer is so nice because it goes on so thin and it doesn't cake up, yet it's so pigmented. I used to have really dark bags, and I'd be like, oh no, like the only thing that could cover them I felt like was Shape Tape. And then I tried this and I was like, I really like this. And it's super easy to carve out brows with. Like, they have a pure white shade that I use to cut my crease. And then I use my regular shade to cut my eyeliner, to cover my dark circles, to carve out my brows. And it's just so easy to work with, and it's so full coverage without being cakey whatsoever. I love it. So from there, we're going to talk about powder. I fell in love with this powder the moment I tried it. I think it was like the first high-end loose powder I ever tried because I just thought it was so cute, and I absolutely love it even now. So this is the Flower Setting Powder in the shade Oat Translucent. I love how finely milled this stuff is. And the packaging is just to die for. Like, it comes in a little flower carton. I love it. It's so cute. And it lasts all day. It covers my pores. It's not like one of those powders that like settles into stuff. It doesn't settle, which I like. And then I also started using the Born This Way Too Faced powder in the shade Translucent. I got this on sale. I actually ended up getting both of them on sale. And then once I picked them both up, I just continued to use them and didn't really stop, which I have like 30 other powders, so for me to continuously use those, I like them. So yeah, From there, we're gonna talk about brows. So I changed my brows to this over a year ago, and ever since then I've been using it nonstop. I actually need to go pick up a new one of one of the items because it's no longer usable and I'm sad. So the first item I want to talk about is the Anastasia Dip Brow. I use medium brown. I use this every single day. Whenever I try a new brow product, I just get disappointed. Like, I always go back to this. Like, no matter how hard I try to like something else, I'm like, no, it's not as good as that. And then I like to go over that with the Gimme Brow in shade 4.5. As you can tell, this is a little sample. I can't find my full size, so I think I gave it to my sister. In the start of 2019, I was using the Butter Bronzer every day. This had been my ride or die for about 4 or 5 years. My mom got it for me one time and I was like, I love it. And I just continued to use it because I thought, like, it was super easy to blend. I couldn't find anything else that I liked more than it. This was a holy grail for me for 4 years. Actually, probably 5 years. A holy grail. And then I was going through my makeup collection and I saw this. I think I got this in a box or something. I don't remember purchasing this. But I remember getting it, but I don't remember how I got it because I don't think I bought it. But this is the Park Ave Princess Chisel Palette. And I love to use this shade and this shade to contour my face. Once I started using those shades, I realized that my butter bronzer didn't stay all day like this does. If I put this on in the morning, it's gonna last me all day because it's meant to chisel out the face, as opposed to butter bronzer is just a bronzer. It's meant to warm up the face. It's not gonna keep its defined like line like this one will. So that's why I ended up switching to that one. I still love my butter bronzer. It'll always be my baby, but I've been really into the Park Ave Princess Chisel Palette. Let me tell you the shade names. I use Princess Cut and Angle. Angle's a little bit darker. They're both the 2 matte shades. I also use Halo and Enhance to set my face occasionally when I'm like late and I don't want to use loose powder because it takes forever. I just plop on some of that. I'm like good to go. So I like this palette because it's multi-use and it's really effective for me. It's one of the few bronzers that I've had where I'm like, wow, I really like this. Like, I tried the NARS one the other day and I was like, this literally does nothing. Like, I was like, and nothing was coming out, and then I used that and I went in with the same strength that I went in on the NARS palette and I was like, that's a lot of bronzer, and I regretted my choice. So then after bronzer, I'm going to talk about blush. So this is the Milani, the powder blush. Yeah, so this is T Rose. The Milani blush was one of the first ones I ever got. I'm not that big of a blush person. I actually have just recently been starting to get more into blush. I've also used the Ofra blush in Mai Tai a lot, but that blush is looking rough. And the packaging is like their old packaging because I got it in like a mystery box or something. And so the packaging was rough and I was like, whatever. And I kept using it and now it's like super crusty, so I'm not going to show y'all that. At the start of 2019, I got Ofra highlighters. This is just one of the Ofra highlighters I have. I'm not saying that specifically the shade is something I'm super into because I did use this shade a lot, but I used a bunch of other shades because I have like the Nikkie Tutorials trio and then I have a couple other palettes by them. So this is the Rodeo Drive highlighter. This is a little dark for me, so I had to go into something else whenever I used this, but I really enjoyed this. I enjoy Ofra's formulation for their highlighters, and they're gonna last all day, which I really enjoy. The next item, as far as highlighters go, that I'm obsessed with is the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder. I don't want to open it because it's just gonna like get everywhere. This is what it looks like. It's a loose powder. I don't want to tip it too much because like, yeah, glitter's starting to fall. I like to use it as a topper on top of another highlighter, just to give me a look that's gonna be like popping from across the room all night. So like when I go to work, I have to wear a hat or like a visor at work. So like there's kind of shadows, so I use that and it's like blinding. People are like, oh my god, your highlight's so pretty. Whereas if I didn't wear that on top, people wouldn't really see my highlight because it wouldn't be popping. My two favorite palettes of this year, or I should say my palettes that got the most use. This palette looks super crusty and I can never keep my Anastasia palettes clean. This is the Norvina palette. Like, the glitter shades just get everywhere. And I don't know how to keep it clean. No matter how many times I wipe it off, the next time I open it, if it's covered in glitter, I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I really like that palette. Although, I started the year liking it, and I love the colors in it. But unfortunately, whenever I put an eyeliner on top of the glitters, it spreads, no matter what eyeliner I use. So that's kind of a disappointment for me. The next palette that I really loved this year was the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This was one of my favorite palettes. I love doing a look with this color right here. This is Pool Party. It's absolutely one of my favorite shades of all time because it's really one of my favorite colors. And then I love all the neutrals and this tiny little pop of color. Like, it's just, I think, a really good palette. Lots of go-to colors in it. So then, my two favorite eyeliners of the year would be the Tarte Maneater and the Urban Decay Provision. I feel like I like both of these. I use them at different times, just depending on what mood I'm in. For me, they're very similar. I feel like the Maneater is a little more watery than the Urban Decay Perversion. The Perversion does, however, stay longer. So it just depends on how I feel and like what look I'm going for that day. The mascara that I used a lot this year that I never thought I would was the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. For me, this mascara always felt overhyped. And then I picked it up on sale one time and I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. It was just a good, easy mascara to put on. And whether I was wearing lashes or not. If I wasn't wearing lashes, it still gave me a nice lash effect. So that's why I was super into it. So then my favorite lash glue to use is the Kiss Lash Strip Adhesive. This is actually the only lash glue I use. Anything else hurts my eyes. And the lashes just don't stay on no matter what I use. And then the lashes that I used consistently throughout the whole year were the Demi Wispies. I recently got away from these. I'm using lashes with more volume now and multi-dimensional. So that's the one reason I got away from those, because I like more dramatic looks now. And then as far as setting sprays go, I really enjoyed the All Nighter. This just happens to be their summer edition of the All Nighter. I'm still trying to use it up. I'm probably like at a fourth left, maybe a little less, but I'm trying to use all that up. So I've been working on it, but it takes a while for me to use it. The next item that I want to talk about isn't necessarily, it's not makeup, but it's my favorite chapstick of all time. I cried when they got rid of the Clinique Pep Start. And I was like, this ain't for me. Like, I bought like 10 of them off some weird sketchy website because I was like, this isn't real. Why me? Why? Like, I was literally like so upset. I told all my friends. I was so sad. I wanted to cry. And then they came out with the Clinique Moisture Surge Lip, which is literally the exact same product. It's literally the exact same product. The packaging on the front just says Clinique Lip Surge or Moisture Lip Surge instead of saying Pep Start Lip Mask. They took it away for like 2 months so they can rename it. Why? Why? Was that necessary? No, it wasn't. Okay? Okay. Let's just clear that up, Clinique. And then my favorite lip products are the Buxom lip products. This is the Full On Lip Polish. And then I also have the Full On Lip Cream. These two are a little crusty. I have a problem of putting things in my to-go makeup bag, which has like lash glue in it, and the lash glue gets everywhere. So there's lash glue on all my like consistent stuff that I use every day. So yeah, this one's new, but it's covered in lash glue because my lash glue explodes, but I need to take it with me, and I want to take all the other products with me. So I think I need to start having like a little compartment for my lash glue so I can deal with that. But yeah, that's all of my 2019 favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do want to disclose that these aren't necessarily my favorite products of all time. I mean, they are my favorites of 2019, but they were my favorites while I was using them. So they were consistently favorites throughout a couple months at least. I'm not saying it's my favorites at the end of 2019. It was my favorite products throughout 2019. Disclaimer. Ended. But yeah, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.